What it do, man? What it do, y'all? All right, man. I got a question for the people, man. It's not a right or wrong answer. At least I don't think so. I'm just curious. It's out of curiosity, right? So, when it comes to relationships, a lot of people have their different types of components that go into it. Some people got their red flags. A lot of people got their their must have. Like, I'm looking for this relationship. I need to have this. I'm looking for that. Or like obviously your red flags. Like, if this person is this, I can't do it. Or if they, you know, if I like this and they don't like this, or if they're this type of way, or if whatever it may be, right? Everybody got their do's and don'ts, their likes and stuff like that. So, I feel like one of the components I feel like that's a not so much of a a popular topic or a trait that I hear people talk about is like the compatibility between the two people, right? So you hear it's like a cliche thing to say like opposites attract, right? So I know there's two different types of versions or two different types of ways you can go about that, right? Like, so you got a couple that one person might be one way and their partner might be the complete opposite, right? So you know I don't really know in what aspects, like how, I'm sure like in a lot of ways it works out, right? Because you're learning your partner, like, even dating back to when y'all first start talking, that's when you want to kind of learn your partner, figure out what they're about, what they're into, what they don't like. You just kind of make your judgment from there. You know what I'm saying? But we all know, like, it's a different ball game once you actually like tie the knot or you move in with that person, or you can date all you want, you can do all the like texting or phone calls, or every once in a while we can talk and chat and stuff like that. But it's a different ball game once you are with this person 24/7 nonstop, right? Sun up to sundown, besides work, and stuff like that. But other than that, like, we all know things change, for the better or for the worse when you're with that person nonstop. So, if you're like not, if one person, say the guy is a specific way and the girl the complete opposite, is that, can that doom the relationship? Is that like a make or break situation? Like, meaning like, like at some point down the road, like you find out like, yo, we're just not meshing. This isn't it. This ain't what I thought it was gonna be. We all want our partners at some point to like start blending up. Cause let's keep it all the way a buck now. Like, in the beginning of a relationship, everybody's trying to sell themselves. So you trying to sell the version of yourself to be like, say you find out your partner's into something and they love it and they're passionate about it, knowing darn well you don't really fool with that. That's not your vibe, but you take on that like vibe of like, oh yeah, yeah. You adapt that lifestyle or whatever it may be, that trait that they like and they're really into. So, and then you tap into it. So your partner believes that that's who you are. This is the image that you're upholding. So you're like, hey, like, oh, okay, like, I didn't know this is, you're into this too. That's what's up. Like, I ain't even think. And then y'all start rocking. But then as time moves on, you find out this person starts falling back into that version of what they used to be, and they really weren't into that. They start falling off of that, like, like, well, what happened? Well, I thought you was like, nah, I mean, ain't really, that was just, I was just trying to get on. I was trying to see, I was trying to impress you. So, you know, sometimes, like, that's an example of like compatibility, meaning like, you really weren't this way at the beginning, but at the end you started to change and started trying to change up things. Now there might be other things of like, you might have two different things where, this person's this way and this other person's that way. And that doesn't like affect the relationship at all. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're just learning your partner, like, oh, I didn't know you like, whatever it may be. You know what I'm saying? And the other person wasn't really into it either, but they might learn to genuinely adapt to that version of, whatever you're into. You know what I mean? So, it's like, it could be like, a lot of relationships you hear people have like been presented something like, I never was into this, but until I met my wife or met my husband, I never knew I love this. I never knew I liked this, and I love it. And it's something I genuinely, that's something I really genuinely love. I never thought I would. So, I was curious to like, what's that happy medium? What's the part where it starts to like tilt over to where you're like, Yeah, it's like this compatibility thing isn't working. Like this ain't really, or is it something like like you're something you're accepting and you're okay with. I want to adapt this lifestyle, and you want to go ahead and sacrifice maybe like something that you maybe like didn't really like at the beginning, or didn't really like, or didn't really love, or you don't really care for. But you're making sacrifice for her or for him to invite that into something that you probably really didn't care for at the beginning, and then you're just kind of living because you genuinely like we want a relationship where you're genuine about something, right? You're not like pretending. When you pretend, at some point it shows its face down the road where you're like, I never really was a part of it. I didn't really care for this, to be honest. I was selling this to you when we started dating. You know what I'm saying? So it's something where it's like you have to fight, pick your battles, but where I don't know, like, you know what I'm saying? I know people that like are complete opposites that love like that, or like this, but then you got couples that started off like, hey, this was the greatest thing in the world, but then it fell off because y'all two weren't on the same page as far as like, like I just couldn't do it. Like, he's this and he's that, and there's no way I can be this and do that, blah blah blah. And some people get to the point where you invest so much into the relationship, and you like ignore the things that y'all don't necessarily get along with, or you guys don't agree on, and then it's just kind of like, you're just kind of there. You just kind of like in the relationship, just kind of like going through the process. You know what I mean? Which I like to call going through the process. You don't ever want to be going through the process in a relationship. You don't ever want to do that. So it's I feel like how much of the relationship has to be genuine? Put it like this: how much of the relationship you feel like has to be like a percentage needs to be genuine? Like, do you feel like the relationship needs to be 110% genuine? Like the whole relationship is genuine. Like everything is like I'm not I'm not faking nothing in this relationship. Nothing is pretend, make believe, whatever. Like it's just I genuinely love whatever I'm doing that she might be, a fan of, or might want you to like, or you've been invited to, or you've been wanting to do. How much of that is actually genuine? And do you feel like there's a percentage where you have to meet, or if you don't meet, like it just won't work? Like, listen, I've tried this, but like, listen, you're over here and I'm over here. This just ain't what it is. And let's just let bygones be bygones. You know what I'm saying? So I'm curious to know, like, what is that? What is the percentage of the how much of the relationship needs to be genuine, like between the two of y'all, where you just generally both enjoy everything that that goes on between the two. That's I'm really curious about that. Like, the opposites attracts, or do you want that compatibility where it's like, yo, personality, whatever it may be. What is it? Things that I like, whether parenting, finances, just all kinds of aspects on like goals in life, different things just different things of that nature. So y'all let me know what y'all think about that, because I feel like that's a kind of a topic that you don't really hear people talk about a lot. And yeah, I'm really curious about that, because I don't know. I don't really know if there's a right or wrong to that. I'm sure there's couples that that just are the opposite of their partner, but they're like this, and then you got two of the people that are like the same and they're like this. So I don't know. I don't know which category do you fall into, because I'm really curious about that. But let me know what y'all think in the comments, please. Listen, do me a favor. Don't listen. Don't shoot me in the DMs on social media about your response. Please go to my YouTube page. Just go to this page under this video. Comment what you think. Share an experience, whatever it may be. I'm just curious to read the comments. I really appreciate people who reach out to me in my DMs and text messages and call me about the situation. But I've told about 7 people already, like, hey, do me a favor. Go to my YouTube page and post it on the YouTube page so I can open up that platform, so we can kind of have an open conversation. And I just revisit it, maybe talk about it. And like I said, I plan on having people talk on my on the channel about different situations and scenarios. So y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. Man, I think this is an important topic. I'm probably going to touch on a couple more times. But yeah, man, just tap in. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Other than that, y'all know what it is. Y'all know what the vibes is. Peace and love. Until next time, we out. Peace.